Happy Valley is our destination on Wednesday night ahead of a huge week here in Hong Kong. It's Chinese New Year, so the Cup is on Sunday at Sha Tin, and also the second leg of the four-year-old series as well, the four-year-old Classic Cup. A very warm welcome to Racing to Win. I'm Andrew Lejeune, joined here in the studio by Paul Lally, our four medalist, and race caller John Blance as well. And John, there's no trophy race as such Wednesday night, but a very competitive card all the same.
Yep, certainly is. Very much looking forward to it. Race 6 looks a bit of a good one as well. 1,200 metres, some usual suspects in there. It should be really good entertainment.
All right, no jackpots this week, Paul, but what have you got in your eye otherwise?
Yeah, no jackpots, no first starters. So it's just competitive racing. Still plenty to bet on though, Andrew, of course, as there always is. So exotics might be the way to go because they're quite open, even fields on Wednesday night, but always good fun. If you're in Hong Kong, get along to the course. The weather's picked up.
Absolutely, yeah. It's much warmer now. We've got plenty to get through, so we'll launch straight into our weekend review. Of course, we raced at Sha Tin on Saturday. Now, it was a Class 4 feature race, so we're going to look to a later one on the programme. This is a Class 2 contest, and saw Conti come into this unbeaten 4 out of 4, went off a very short price favourite, but he bumped into a good one here. Still dispatched him, but easy go, easy win. He ran a very credible second.
He ran pretty well, easy go, easy win, but Conti was too good for him, I think. Both horses had chances. They had no problems in the run. Easy go, easy win was there to win the race there if he wanted to, but Conti kept finding.
I think the right horses were in behind as well. Lockheed's progressive. Spicy Sure's been in good form as well. Leeson Express was finishing off too. I think the form pretty solid. And
it was actually, for Lockheed's point of view, much better. You ignored the previous starts. He's a big horse, Conti, isn't he? And John Size maybe sending him off for a little bit of a break now. Yeah,
I'm not sure what the actual plans are, but he is a big horse. So, you know, he's obviously takes a bit to keep him going and keep him fit. You can see there, but he's got the ability, isn't he?
Yep, John Size, I'm sure, will have an idea or two for him, and he probably deserves a break given the way he's gone up in the ratings as well. He's gone up so quickly.
And probably a case, to a certain extent, of a really good 4-year-old beating a really good 3-year-old. He's just got that little edge on easy go, easy win as far as maturity is concerned.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, and obviously that showed up there. And he's a big horse, and he sort of bullies, you know, not bullies, but he makes his own luck as such. He'll just barge you out of the way, I think. So he's never going to be that unlucky.
No, and he's very tractable, isn't he, in the race as well. So as far as the rate is concerned, he got 8, moves him on to 94. Easy go, easy win actually got 4 as well, so onto a mark of 90. Ugly Warrior remains unbeaten too. Yeah,
it was a really good win from him. I'm interested to see what he can do on the turf, because we're seeing all the all-weather stuff, but look, he keeps winning, but he keeps really going up the ratings. He's up 11 points here. I thought Refined Treasure won pretty well in the first as well, atoned for that unlucky first start. And Apollo's Choice, everything went his way and he won nicely, didn't he?
And Perpetual Joyance.
Well, I was going to say,
he's improving, isn't he?
He does, yeah. He's had a fantastic season so far, and who knows, he might be able to make further improvement, but he certainly came home really well under Olivier Deleuze.
Absolutely, another winner for Olivier there, with John Size as well. Those are the big winners on the weekend. We'll see if we can find you some more with our horses to follow. All right, Paul, what have you got for us here? What did you find?
Well, a horse I've found here was a horse called Fearless Fire. Now, he's still got a Derby entry, this horse. He's racing over 1,600 metres here. And he had a good run in the race, but he never really gave it away. And he fought on all the way to the line. So once he gets up to 1,800 metres, 2,000, I think that's going to be his go. He's by acclamation, and I thought he hit the line very strongly indeed. And he wasn't too far away from the eventual winner here. You can see he just keeps fighting, keeps fighting. I think the important thing is the way he hit the line, and you've got some real seasoned horses like Ho Ho Feel on that behind him. But I mean, Agree had the perfect run in the race, so he did win it, but I thought it was good run from him.
Okay, and John, a lightly raced horse for you?
Yeah, God of Dragon, I thought he ran very well up in trip for the first time on this particular occasion, 1,400 metres. I say up in trip for the first time here in Hong Kong when he was racing overseas. This was more his sort of thing. He was a pretty busy 2-year-old. He was a listed winner in the end overseas, this fella, at 1,400. I think this has been fine for him. He stayed on pretty well in a race where, admittedly, some of the horses were coming from behind, but he's still done the job pretty well. I think he'll be better over 16 and possibly 1,800 as well. I thought it was a decent effort.
Yeah, Merry-Go Win got home quite nicely up the rail there as well, didn't he? There's probably a few to pick out from the weekend's action. For me, well, we're going back to the race we just saw in actual fact, Conti's, but Last Kingdom, keep an eye on him. It's just his second start here, and was getting up in trip. this is a horse that won in France over 1,800 metres. This is 1,600 metres here. You can just see him there in the light blue jacket. He is a Frankel, so he came with a bit of a reputation, I suppose, and placed in group company at Group 2 over 2,000 metres. Much better than his first up effort. And you just see him just starts to make up a little bit of ground here, and then his path is taken a little bit by Spicy Shore. So just had to not ease down, but let's say I think he's taken a step forward, and I wouldn't be surprised if he takes another one. He's got Derby entry as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think he has, yeah.
Yeah, whether he gets there or not is probably another story. But there we go. There's the horses to follow. Suspensions, we're going back to Happy Valley last week. Alexia Bedell picked up a couple of days for Travel Day Took, and National Willow as well on Numero Uno. 2 days each for them. Now, entries came out for the Gold Cup this week, and they include a certain Pakistan star, and he will, all things being equal, be lining up as well because he's completed his second barrier trial. This is again from the 1,600 metre start on the turf. There he is. It's a high-class trial as well, John. You called it. That's Werther out in front, but it's around this point where he's had the problems in the past. But nothing at all. He's just breezed around like without a care in the world. Yep,
no problems at all. His last 2 trials now from the 1,600 metre on the turf, so passing that slightly dodgy area, as you say. And last time he had a stable companion just maybe taking him through the trial a little bit in the sense of romantic touch. This fella had Werther to chase on this occasion here. And yeah, I thought it was very good, as you said. Seasons Blooms in behind there, 1 or 2 others. Unicron Jewellery's in reasonable form too these days. So, yeah, it was, well, he's passed the exam, and he should be there on race day. And in the end, he went past Werther quite nicely in the latter stages. Obviously, neither of them really ratcheting up into top gear, but I thought it was a very good effort.
Joe Moreira's on board here, Paul, but all things as it stands at the moment, we've got Seasons Bloom, but he'll be riding Seasons Bloom due to an earlier commitment, and so it would seem Matthew Chadwick is going to get back on board.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing too. I mean, because Matthew knows the horse well. He has won on the horse before. And Matthew's had no problems on the horse either, so for him riding it, I don't see it as a negative.
Beyond that, it may well be that Joe gets back on board. We're still to find out, but it's a one race at a time sort of thing. But just at this point here, that's Werther on his inside, Seasons Bloom and the striped jacket in behind, but Joe just gives him an inch of rain. It's going to be a huge effort to win first up in a race like the Gold Cup, but he is class. And he doesn't look too far off. Tony Cruz saying afterwards he's ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, well, he hasn't missed any work. That's one thing. He's done a lot of work on the sand in between, obviously, his probation things that he's had to do here. So, you know, he hasn't lacked in fitness in that respect.
But in fairness to him, his rating is high now anyway, so even if he hadn't had these problems, he still would have had to have started in a high-class race anyway. So you've got to put him in. You've got to see whether he can do it on race day.
Yeah, very exciting stuff. 2,000 metres, of course, the start for the Gold Cup itself. All right, as we move on to Wednesday night's programme, and there will be a minute's silence as well on Wednesday nights due to the terrible accident on Saturday after racing with the bus leaving Sha Tin on its way to Tai Po. So a minute's silence, 6:30 in the parade ring, and there'll be no live entertainment in the beer garden as well as a show of respect for those who passed. So very sad after racing on Saturday night. As far as the withdrawn horses are concerned from the programme, though, just the one, Telecom Brothers, has been replaced by Blockady. So he was going to be the first starter, the only one on the programme in actual fact, but race 6, number 7, Telecom Brothers out, Blockady is in. Zach Purton will be in the saddle. All right, so an 8-race programme. And we're up to meeting 47 here. We're on the B course as well for our Valentine's Day programme as well. It's the Rose Handicap to get things off and running. Loaded heads them, drops into Class 5 for the first time, as does Remarkable. Perforoo was fourth, 2 starts back behind Sweet Bean, who he meets on slightly better terms. Sweet Bean is a 5-time course and distance winner. Hall of Fame gets the blinkers back on. Holy Unicorn yet to win in 20 starts. Island Flyer right down the bottom of the weights. He's a 2-time winner over the trip. Once at Happy Valley and once at Sha Tin.
Yeah, not much obvious speed here. I tend to agree with our map, though. I reckon Happy Friendship, who hasn't necessarily massively changed tactics this year, but he has been more forward in his runs with Dylan Moe on, meaning he has a very light weight. I think he'll go forward. And Remarkable is interesting, down in this grade for the first time.
Sweet Bean, now Joe Moreira will be riding a Sweet Bean. He's a horse who's won 6 races, which is not many of them have done in this particular grade. This is his go, though, isn't he? We've seen him a lot in Class 5, and he's come up favourite, and he's just doing what he has to do there. Happy Friendship, as you said, has basically sort of changed his sort of tactics a little bit, and he'll come in with a lightweight, and he's going well at the moment for a Class 5 horse.
All right. Pearl Faru as well will start, along with Sweet Bean behind Audacity. This is over the 2,000 metres at Sha Tin. Holy Unicorn in the race as well. So a drop in trip, and I say they did meet Pearl Faru and Sweet Bean the start before this as well.
Yeah, they did. And look, Pearl Faru and Sweet Bean are both racing well, and they both run well at Happy Valley before. Pearl Faru's won 1 there, and we know Sweet Bean's won 5. So I've got them both in the numbers, but it's a Class 5, they're usual suspects.
I think Pearl Faru might actually be better a bit further than the 1800. This was over 2,000. I thought he ran well. Sweet Bean, as Paul said, he's won 6 times in Hong Kong, all of them at 1800, 5 of them at Happy Valley and once at Sha Tin. I've left him out in the past, and I'm not going to be that daft again, although I've probably mocked him now, but there you go.
All right, he's our early favourite, Sweet Bean, at $4.30. So Remarkable is one of the class droppers. Had quite a late start to his season. It's only his 4th run this campaign. Middle of the pack here.
Now, this was over 1,600 metres. He steps up to 1,800. He looks like he's been crying out for this ground. He's got less convictions than a lot of these horses. He's only had the 6 starts. Now, he trialled twice at Happy Valley before the season started. He's 4th up now. He's ready to go. And he hit the line so strongly here in a lot stronger race, Class 4, down to Class 5. I just think he'll win.
Yep, you've always got to take a look at those horses dropping into Class 5 for the very first time. There's 2 in this field, Loaded, whose form has been dreadful, and this fella whose form has not been that bad in Class 4. So, yep, for me, he's definitely got to go in.
All right, first up, he went off single figures, but his price has drifted out. Until this point, he's now 6.20, Paul. He sounds like he's your on-top pick.
Yeah, definitely. I quite like him in this particular race. I just think this race is well suited to him. And John Size doesn't have many Class 5 runners, so I've got him on top to beat Happy Friendship, who is going well this season, and he'll be on the pace as well. Sweet Bean, obviously, is very consistent in this grade, and Pearl Faru's won well, raced well at his last couple of races. So 2, 11, 7, 4, but I'm quite big on the 2 in this.
Yeah, not a huge amount of deviation from me on this one, although I do like Sweet Bean here, and the stats speak for themselves of this horse, as indeed does the stat when it comes to Joe Moreira. He's been on for 5 of those wins, gate 3 on this occasion, so he'll definitely get a good position in the run. Happy Friendship's got a light enough weight that he can go well again. Dylan Moe takes that £7 off. Holy Unicorn, I think he can improve on what he did last start here at Happy Valley. He had to make a mid-race move, which wouldn't have helped him, and he still stuck on pretty well. I think he's interesting at a slightly bigger price. I've got Remarkable in there as well. I'm slightly concerned about the draw for him, but 1,800 shouldn't be a huge problem. I think he's got to go in there. But for me, on all the stats, Sweet Bean has got to be one you work things around. Yeah, I've got him. Very similar numbers right throughout there, but I did quite like Happy Friendship as well. Right, that's the opening event, Class 5, as is the second. Another Class 5 contest for race at number 2. We drop back, though, to the 1,200.